Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and we're going to be going through tonight's main slate. I was at the U.S. Open today. That was definitely a lot of fun. Two pretty uncompetitive matches, but still a great, beautiful day. And we got to spend $13 on bottled water and $24 for a watered down drink. So, what's more U.S. Open than that? Anyway, um, let's get right to it. And what we're going to do, again, I'm by myself today. We're going to talk about two things. Well, we're gonna talk about who the best plays are, and that's really easy. And then we're gonna try to figure out who we're gonna play, and that's kind of hard. All right. Um, so let's start with who the best plays are. Okay. And when I say who the best plays, I mean just based on projections, based on who I think is the best combination of teams that are going to do well tonight. That to me is very simple. The two pitchers, which I believe on DraftKings are the two best pitchers on the slate, are Joe Musgrove and Logan Gilbert. They pretty much stand out, at least to me, given all my value metrics, as the best pitchers on the slate. Ahead of Cole, ahead of Severino, ahead of Talion, ahead of Madden is an interesting idea, but Bello ahead of all of them. And they're both going to be owned. One's 40% projected, the other 25. But these are the best plays. Okay. So next question are who are the best stacks? Who are the best stacks? And I also feel that that's pretty easy too. That's a little less easy. So I have four teams that I think are the best plays. All right. One is the same San Diego Padres. They are clearly one of the top stacks. You have the return of other things of Fernando Tatis. I don't know if it's his first game back. Let me just see. Is it his first game back? It seems like it. Yeah, first game back for Fernando Tatis. Very fairly priced at 5,200 against Holton. Oh, so yeah, Holton's the starter, but it's probably going to be Manning coming out of the bench or whatever. In any case, very, very good matchup for San Diego. San Diego, very, very strong stack. The other strong stack are the New York Yankees. Yankees in Texas against. I wonder if I don't know if this is if this Leiter is the son of Al Leiter, which would be actually kind of fun because Al Leiter was on the Yankees. Very, very strong spot for the Yankees. The usual suspects. Now again, it's not as easy to get to them as far as pricing goes, but you can do it. Can you do it? I mean, you could, but it's not that easy. I mean, these guys are pretty expensive. Okay, but definitely one of the top stacks. And then the other two stacks that I like, and again, these are easy, are Boston against Severino. By the way, they cleared out the U.S. Open, and now they have to deal with more traffic for Citi Field tonight. What a shit show! Not to mention the other U.S. Open set. Anyway, so Boston, very good stack, as are the Seattle Mariners. Okay, Rodriguez, Rosenrain. I mean, you just name it. They're all good here. Okay, Raleigh hitting third. I mean, so this is all really, really easy stuff as far as who the best plays are. To recap, Musgrove, Gilbert, and then some combination of Yankees, Padres, Seattle, and Boston. And you can hand build these and come up with a pretty easy stack. I mean, I can't do the whole lineup for you, but it's extraordinarily simple. You go to my sheets and you go to, I don't know, sort by modified stack, and you plug in some dudes here. I mean, what do you got? You got let's just see if you can play all these. I'm not gonna do the whole lineup because everybody will get mad at me. But let's just can you play all these? Can you play Machado. Where is Arias? Arias. Did I put Tatis in? Machado. Bogarts. Where's Bogarts? What position is Bogarts playing now? Second base. Bogarts, and then who's the last one? Solano, maybe. Play him. He's cheap. Actually, you can't play him because can you get Bogarts at shortstop somehow? Let me just see something. Can you get the shortstop? No. So you can't do all of this. And you would probably want to play Solano. Solano's a tremendous play here at this price. But in any case, you can see how you can make all this work with very little aggravation. You can even pay all the way up from Merrill if you want, and still have. And this is a little harder, but you can certainly do this. Let's say you wanted to do, I don't know, Yankees. It's going to be hard, but let's just see how close you can get to playing all the Yankees you want. You probably can't get them all, right? So what if you played? Let's just try to play them all first. Judge, Soto, Stanton. No, you can't do all of it. All right. So it's a little harder to play. You probably have to go play. Boy, this is tough, huh? Yeah. So maybe it's not so easy to play the Yankees. So the Padres clearly will be the top stack, but Seattle, you can make that work extraordinarily easily, I believe. Let's just take a look. What are the plays here? We would go with Cal Raleigh for openers. We would go with, and the reason why I'm doing this all for a reason, by the way. You play Turner. That's super cheap. This whole thing, this sells itself, right? You could even pay up for Julio with no issues, or a Rosarena, or pretty much whatever you wanted, and plenty of room to spare. So because of this, Seattle's going to be really popular too, I imagine, right? You see how quickly I built Seattle stacks? You see how quickly I built San Diego stacks? And then let's say you went to Boston just to see. I guess it would be, let me just put in some dudes here. It would be my top ones, I guess. Casas, would he get in there? No, probably not. It would probably be all the outfielders. Duran is 6,200. Holy crap. That's amazing. So maybe not. Maybe the Red Sox are kind of priced out. Where's Yoshida? What's his price? He's 3,900. So this is a little harder. Wow, I can't believe they made Duran 6,200. So it's definitely a little harder. So I would say that Seattle and the Padres with Musgrove and Gilbert sell themselves. And it's not a coincidence. Well, maybe it is a coincidence that we have both their pitchers. So you have extremely natural correlation. So if you wanted to just, not run the sims, don't do all that fancy crap, you play these dudes, you play a Seattle, you play a San Diego, and then you just kind of roll, However, I don't think that's what we're actually going to do. We're going to run the sims and see what lineups don't rate to just do the best, but do the best against the projected field of lineups that we're going to be competing against. And that's the impact of what modern day DFS baseball is all about. It's not just about making the best plays, and I can't stress that enough. Think about what I just did in creating those stacks. You know how easy that was? And because it was easy for me, it's going to be easy for everybody else. And it's going to be trivially easy for the optimizers. And you're going to have to try to find a way to get off of that somehow. Okay. We're going to come back to this in a sec. We still have a half an hour. And then we'll build this. But just for fun, let's see what looks like on FanDuel. Okay. and then we're going to come back and run a sim or whatever, right? So we're going to build a couple on, we're going to see what we do on FanDuel. On FanDuel, hang on, edit. Let me see what my numbers look like on FanDuel. I imagine that it's going to be the Musgrove show over there as well, but let me just double check. Yeah, Musgrove and Gilbert again. So, Musgrove is ridiculously cheap at 8,300. And then when it comes to the stacks over there, let me just double check and make sure. Yep, Yankees, and I bet you can get them in easier over there. Yankees, San Diego, Seattle, and Boston. Exactly the same. All right, so no sims, no nothing. Plug all that stuff in, excel all the other teams, and rock. But if only life were that easy. So let's run the sims, and let's see what we got. So we ran a build. I uploaded the projections, and I think did I run my lineups already? Yeah, I ran my lineups, and look, before I adjust for sims, look what you get. Oh my God, look at all this. See, Oakland, these are some interesting ones, but let's run these all over again, just so you see exactly what I'm doing. So we uploaded everything. We don't need to go min uniques 1. We don't need to do anything. We just want to run these all over again. We're going to play 5,000 lineups. We'll do the 150 max setting and whatever, and we are rebuilding, and we are going to hit go. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on FanDuel. We already uploaded the projections. And then we're going to build 5,000 lineups again. Same thing as before. Build mode, 150 max, 1,000 to 10,000 maybe. And we're going to rebuild, and we're going to roll. Okay. Okay. Now, SaberSim is running these, and it's really important to know what we're looking at here. So when it lists these lineups, it's sorting them by this Saber score thing, which is based on large slate, and it calculates 0.7 times the 99th percentile outcome of the lineup, and it does ding it for average ownership. So this is pretty aggressive, but it doesn't really compare it to the tournaments that you're going to be in. This is why you have to run the sims here. So let's do a couple of things. First, let's get rid of all these. We'll delete all the contest sims, okay? Because I don't know what these settings were. So let's go back into the contest what we're in, and we're going to resave all these. We're going to add all these contest sims, okay? And then before we run them, we're going to do a couple of things. Do we have time? 25 minutes? Plenty of time. First, we're going to do this aggregate projection tracker, sort of, where it's going to keep track of the average projection of my 50 lineups, so that when I make changes, it'll show me how I'm affecting my average by doing this. Like if I want to go from min uniques 1 to min uniques 2, like how much that affects the average projection, so I can judge how much I'm, when I'm over tweaking. So this is the most important thing. Figure out which contest field to compare our lineups to. Baseball's harder than the other sports to create your own. So I am going to use the SaberSim ones mostly. So I'll use the high stakes single entry for the battery. I will use the flagship for the relay throw. I'm going to go up to high stakes MME for the ball four. Full count, we'll keep it mid stakes MME. And then the walk off, we are going to go up to high stakes MME. I like that one better for that tournament. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to hide who we have, because knowing who we have, I mean, that's for peasants. Okay. So we're going to run these, and we're running the sims. And maybe while that's going on, we should do the same thing on FanDuel. Yeah, let's go ahead. So while this is happening on FanDuel, We'll go into the Sims, and again, let's see what we're doing. For the monster, we're going to do high stakes MME. And I'm really not playing any lottery stuff over there. It's just the Grand Slam and this thing. And this will keep it mid stakes, 20 max. And then we will run the Sims over there. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the aggregate stuff over there. Let me just put in that. Average, projection, projected score, sorry. Save aggregate metrics. So we'll keep track. Now going back to DraftKings, before we do anything, I want to set limits to what types of bow wow stacks I don't want. So forget the team stacks. I don't want any 4 3s, 4 2s, anything like that. I could deal with 5 zeros and 4 4s and 5 2s, no problem. But let's just make sure that we get rid of all the bow wow stacks. And now we're just kind of ready to go. Okay, so let's go one by one. Let's do the lottery first. And in the lottery, we go, where is this? Relay throw, sort by risk-adjusted ROI. And you'll see already that, it's not what you expect. Okay. Look at all this anti-Gilbert medication. Yikes. This is the way you go. This is the way it goes, boys. So then with, we tweak them in uniques to see when it affects this the most. So it's still 90.8, 90.8, 90.9 actually went up. And then it still goes up. Wow, this is crazy. Wow, min uniques 5, we're able to get away with this. This is crazy. So we still have to get rid of these bow wow stacks. So we have max diversification here. I mean, can I even go min unique 6? What does that do to me? Yeah, I mean, you can do this. You can totally do this. So we just kept on firing it until the average projection. We almost got all the way to the end. So this is going to be a very well diversified group of lineups in the lottery, whatever it is, and we're just going to put them in. And then we will go next to the full count. And here we don't need to go min unique 6. Let's start with min uniques 1. Okay. And then again, same thing. We're going to go down and down to see 91.4, 91.3. So we're going to have a lot of different variations here. And then it dinged me a little bit. Wow. So we're not taking that many big stands, like if at all, on this slate. Wow, this is crazy. Even min unique 6. I don't think I've had this in over 6 months. So, but it is what it is. Goes in the full count. And then one little trick I want to do, I don't want to play the same lineup in the walk-off home run as I do in the ball four. So I'll actually go like min uniques 2 in those, and I'll put both those in together. So we'll go it doesn't really matter which one we do first. So walk-off home run. And then we're going to go min uniques like 3. And this way, almost completely different lineups from the ball 4 into the and the walk-off. So this is a really crazy slate, honestly. Wow. All right. Well, it is what it is. And then we'll put our top line up in the battery, I guess, in the single entry. And then this will go in here. Now, also what's cool about this is we are going to attempt to late swap a little bit later. So, if things aren't going the way we want early, we could make some changes. But I think we're taking some pretty big stands against the top play, which is Logan Gilbert. I mean, Logan Gilbert and Musgrove are the best plays, but unfortunately, that is just not the way you play MLB DFS. All right, let's go to FanDuel. We'll do the same thing. We already ran. Did we run the Sims already? We ran the Sims. And let's see again, same thing. We're not really playing that many tournaments over here. Again, we're just playing the Monster Grand Slam. So here it's easy. We could just go ahead and really just put our top lineup in, whatever that is. And then for the Grand Slam, that's when we could do some funny business. So Grand Slam, risk-adjusted ROI, and then Min Uniques 2. It goes up a little bit. Oh, that's the Monster, sorry. Back to Slam. So here, 114.3. Then we go down to 114.2. This is, again, I haven't seen a slate like this in a while, where you could get as differing as you want, and it doesn't really affect your average projection. This is kind of nuts. But one thing we can do, we can get rid of this stuff. So get rid of the 2-2-2s, the 3-3-2s, 4-2-2s. All I want are 4-3s and 4-4s on FanDuel. Get rid of this 3-2, get rid of this 4-0. Yeah, you don't really need all that stuff. All right, so let's hear. Min Uniques 1, it's 114. Min Uniques 2 is still 114. Min Uniques 3 is down to 113. But this is it's just, I guess, just the character of the slate, the character of the projections, that everybody's really close, I think. And you can't really do too much damage to your lineups by getting more diverse, which is very, very important. I mean, if you're going to get more diversity without costing yourself an average projection, that's a really big deal. So let's put these in. Oh, and you know what's coming up soon? It's almost football season. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. All right. Okay. What do we have any questions out there from anybody about what I just did? No, again, you don't have to play that way. I mean, you don't have to be a complete sim guy, but I mean, it does require quite a bit of trust in the process, and if you wanted to, and we could do some of this. Let's see, like, really what I did. I'm not see who I have, but what I want to do is go into at least the fields. What is this? Wait, Kepler is out, and I have Kepler. Is that new? Hold on a minute. Let me. I'm going to check to see if I actually have Kepler, because I didn't think I had Kepler. Hold on a minute. That would be annoying. Kepler. It says Kepler is fine. I don't know the issue with Kepler. But we look at the field lineups and we see what we're doing here. So in the flagship MME, for example, let's see what the field is that we're comparing ourselves to. Like what are we doing here? So let's take a look. So according to this field, Logan Gilbert's expected to be played 40% of the time, which makes sense, right? That seems right. Musgrove 33. And as far as stacks go, a lot of Yankees, San Diego, and Seattle, as I mentioned. So what using the simulator is doing is it's saying, you know what, this is what the field's going to do. Here are the projections that you put into the mix. What lineups, based on your projections, based on simulated outcomes, based on all that stuff, are going to do best against this particular field of lineups in this particular contest, or whichever contest you choose to attribute this flagship MME contest field to. So if you think to yourself, oh my God, why am I playing the A's, for example? It's because you're comparing your lineups to a field that has 40% Gilbert. And the way results distribute around the bats, if Oakland gets hot, and they can get hot, all those 40% Gilbert lineups go into the garbage can. So you get kind of double impact. Your Oaklands do well, and the Gilbert ones do poorly. So that is the impact of the Sims. And no, it's not perfect. And these fields are not perfect. The actual correct contest field is probably some simulation of the simulation, right? Because if everybody's going to start using these, we have to figure out how that kind of coagulates into even more of a simulation. So you're basically simming the whole thing against itself. All right, well that's about enough of that. But I do think that this is the way you're supposed to play baseball, and it's my process for baseball. I don't always use the Sims for other sports for reasons that I've discussed in those other sports. Like when we get to NFL Showdown, I really doubt that I'm going to use contest Sims, because to be able to predict what the field is going to do in a showdown slate where, a good 15% of the lineups are going to be trying to get unique on purpose, that's really, really difficult to predict a contest field. MMA, very difficult to predict a contest field on the short slates, for example. Anyway. All right, that's all I have. We lock in about 10 minutes. There's really very little opportunity for late swapping. I mean, you could listen, technically you should do it. You want optimally, if you ran a computer, you'd run a sim at 645, right, between the 640 and the 650, at 702, at what? Even again, right again at 709, once the ownerships of the Seattle game was released. Like once all these ownerships are released and put into the hopper in the calculation, then you're supposed to reshuffle everything. Because once ownership, that is supposed to affect your builds in the future. So technically, after every one of these games starts and the ownerships get flipped over, you're supposed to rerun everything. So that is a lot to ask to get in within those windows, but I'll bet you anything that the best players, or at least some of the best players, they do this every single night, even with a 10-minute window. And if they don't, like if I played the amount that some of these people play, like if I maxed out every tournament and maxed out the Immaculate Inning and maxed out the Monster every night, and I didn't late swap almost automatically with like a computer, I would turn in my hedge fund card. That would be that'd be throwing money right in the garbage if I played so much that here I don't play enough to make it worth it, honestly. But for the people that put in like six figures a night, I would hope that they do that. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Sorry if that was too much, too little, whatever it was. Hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a little something from it. And